Oh my god, let's try something.
See what happened on TV last night?
I always watch.
Oh my god.
It's so fun. It was so
Yeah,
good.
I watched that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Stevie.
I'm Talena,
and this is Twin Talk. We are so excited to kick off week 5. I can't believe it is week 5 already.
But kind of like week 6 because there was like that off week.
Yeah.
So yeah, for a month and a half we've been watching this season.
We've been
of The
following
Bachelor.
Clayton's journey to love, and it has been dramatic. I will say
And
that
a little embarrassing for Clayton.
Oh, I mean, he cannot take a hint. God damn it!
And I'm sorry, but why would you want to put your bachelor through? I don't know. Why would you want to embarrass your bachelor? Like, to me, it seems like they're purposely trying to make him look stupid.
It's weird. It's like they decided to go the classic route, the traditional bachelor route, and that's great. I think that going back to their roots, starting from your roots is a good thing. But like you said, it's like they're trying to embarrass Clayton.
Yeah.
And by doing that, they're embarrassing the process of going back to the roots. So it's this weird dichotomy that I'm still not quite getting yet, and maybe I'll understand at the end. But yes, it does feel like they're sort of embarrassing Clayton because obviously Clayton's not that bright. I mean,
Yeah,
like, he seems like a
simple
great
man.
guy, but like,
Yeah, he seems like a simple man.
how can he not see? And I understand there's lots of things he's not seeing, but at some point, you can't tell that Shanae's a crazy bitch. Look her in the eyes. You can tell.
You can fucking tell she's a no.
So, yes. Fun fact, yesterday was National Rose Day.
Oh, I love that.
So I loved that Bachelor was on National Rose Day. That's really cute. So when we started off the episode, this is what I thought was going to happen. I thought that the first 20 minutes of the episode was going to be drama happening at that group date that Shanae took over.
Yeah.
But it was just the next day. Which is fine. I didn't want to see any more of that drama.
Right.
And they did address it. You know, the ladies brought up the trophy throwing and all that shenanigan later.
Right.
But I was just really taken aback because they didn't start off with that drama. And I was like, is anybody? And they didn't address it for a second. They didn't address the trophy throwing for a second.
Yeah.
They went into Rachel talking and all of this stuff. So I was like, are they never going to address the trophy thing again? And then they finally did.
Because that's what happened in last season. Remember when Will's pilot jacket or whatever got thrown into the pool? And then it was the topic for a hot second and he cried about it, and then all of a sudden it was never brought up again. And it was kind of like, why even put this drama in there? If you put the drama in there, now I have to at least see it out.
Yeah, even if I think it's ridiculous. So the editing is very strange. I just, for the past couple of seasons, I swear they must have gotten new people, and I keep saying I'm going to look it up. I need to look it up.
Yeah.
Because the editing has just not been the same, which I can only conclude means that they hired a whole new team, and I don't know if it's for the better.
Yeah.
I will say, it seems like Rachel knows she has it in the bag.
She knows.
Just the way, she holds herself. In a good way. She doesn't seem taunted by other women. She doesn't seem...
Yeah, it's very like Nate in Michelle's season.
Exactly. He's like, I'm good. I got a good relationship. I'm not worried about it.
I'm just writing the process through. It sucks knowing that she has these other guys, but at the end of the day, it's going to be her and me.
Yeah. So that was, I like Rachel.
I like Rachel a lot,
I like
too.
Rachel, too.
The more, yeah. I don't love the whole whispering thing, but that's just a personal preference because she's always talking so close to his face and whispering in it.
Yeah.
That's not really my jam, but hey, I'm not Clayton and I'm not
seems
Rachel.
into it.
Clayton seems into it, so good on them. I think they look cute together. I think they have the most natural chemistry.
Yeah.
We'll get to Serene's date, but I think they have fun, but for some reason, I definitely on the side of the television I'm on, does not seem like they're a matchmate at all.
What, Serene?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree. At first, I was like, oh, Serene's a needy, crazy person for a second. And then I was
Why
like...
do you think that?
Well, because I felt like she was trying to push him. I personally can't stand when people do this. So why do you like this about me?
Yes. Okay.
Why do you think I'm mysterious? She asked him, why do you think I'm mysterious? What is it about me that's just so mysterious to you? Because I know that I'm this way. I don't know. There's just something about it. that personality trait for me doesn't work for me. It's just like such a Leo thing. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I agree.
But, and honestly, I didn't really feel like I feel like Clayton was on here's what I think. I think that Clayton thinks Serena's very beautiful because she is.
She is. She's gorgeous.
And, they probably did have some fun together and X, Y, and Z, but Clayton seems like the type of person who needs constant affirmation, words of affirmation. And Serene seems very like, you need to tell me this about myself, and you need to tell me this. And she's not very giving in that sense.
Yeah.
So they obviously would never work, and I don't think she wins. I think she goes far, but I definitely don't think she's the winner, just because at the end of the day, I just don't see it.
Work, yeah.
I just don't think they work. I think that he's interested in her because she's mysterious, but I think it would be too exhausting for Clayton.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, to always be like reaching.
It reminds me of the John Mulaney joke about how he's like, I used to date this girl and she would just look out the window and he'd be like, is everything okay or whatever? And she'd be like, you want to understand. And then he's like, what the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do with that information?
And then he started dating his wife at the time.
Yeah, and he's like, this is why I like my Jewish wife, because she just walks in and says, my stomach hurts. And then we take it from there.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like Serena is. Like, Serene's like, not so like saturnine and stuff, but like, just like, oh, figure out what I'm feeling instead of me just telling you it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I just don't think that personality-wise, their relationship would work in the long term.
Yeah, I agree.
In the long term. They went to an amusement park. They seemed to have a great time. I do think that it was a little cop-out not on their part, on the editor's part, on the people who plan these things part, because most of the time, they have them jumping from huge heights, or jumping from airplanes, or doing these really wild, crazy things that you wouldn't really do, and their big crazy wild thing was go on the swings, which I personally love. And then Serene, who did this whole package about how she loved amusement parks, was like, I'm so scared, I can't believe I took this challenge today with Clayton. And I'm like, everybody goes on those swings, they don't even go that high.
Yeah.
So that was a little strange to me. It felt very, I just feel like usually they do something really extreme. They go skydiving, or they go.
I feel like Serene's whole like package was very like surface, and it didn't hit where it needed to hit. Like with that, like with the swing thing, I was so scared to be on the swings. I was like, okay, I would be more scared going on that fucking upside down roller coaster with no fucking strap on.
Oh yeah, fuck no.
And then even like during the dinner portion, and she was like, I have to tell you something really serious. X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, ooh, what's this gonna be? And she was like, my cousin died, and it's like, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad. Like, that sucks. Like you said, she was like your sister. But I don't know, I felt like I needed more to feel like that was something that got you to where you are in life right now.
I completely agree. I think that I don't want to, take away the loss that she's experienced, and she had a very beautiful story. I loved the little firefly story. And when she finally opened up, I was like, okay, I can sort of see the softer side of Serene, but I completely agree with you. She was like, I've experienced so much loss. And we're like, okay, tell us about that loss. And then she said her grandma died, which, she said her grandma raised her basically and everything. So she had a single mom. She spent a lot of time with her grandma. I get it. But, grandmas get old. That's just a thing of life. I know it sucks. I'm not trying to be a cynic, but old people die. And then she said her cousin died, and you could tell that it was almost like Clayton was like, and kitty butt. Like, and what else happened, And then she started going on the story of her cousin, and then she told a story about every time she sees fireflies, she is reminded of this time when she was with her cousin when they were 5. Kitty is being so naughty. Bad cat. And I really don't want to take away from her story. I'm sure she was really close with her cousin. We have cousins that we're really close with. But I just kept waiting for her to be like, and my aunt died, and my brother died, and my sister died.
Or like to tell something more in depth that made me feel more connected to
and more
the loss.
personal and more timely to, I mean, what is she, 25?
Yeah, something.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a bitch, but I just felt like it was too much of a dig for a personal sob story, because they have to. Like, here's the thing, is they're expected to give their sob story, if you will, on these one-on-one dates, because that's how they open up, and that's when, because it is an expedited process.
Yeah.
You know, so you do sort of have to have these hard talks, and this is why I am the way I am, or X, Y, and Z, and I'm not knocking that, but it just felt like she was like, okay, I gotta be sad about something.
This is what the whole entire date and conversation to me just felt very surface level. It didn't feel like, and even like, I don't know. It's like, even when Rachel had told Clayton, like, you know, I knew that I was going to be a pilot my whole entire life, and, you know, I felt like my partner, like, didn't accept that, and, like, I choose not to be with somebody that's not going to accept that X, Y, and Z. Even though that's kind of surface level, that holds a lot of weight.
Because that's who she is.
Right. But to me, Serene's story didn't hold enough weight to
explain why she was so closed off. Maybe you're just closed off because that's just, you seem like that type of person. Like, you just seem like the type of person, I wouldn't say mysterious, but I would just say...
Yeah, because that was the thing, is they built it up. They're like, you know, I'm so mysterious. What do you think is so mysterious about me? And I'm like, and then she's like, you know, I have to be honest with Clayton. Like, I have to tell him, like, why I am the way I am. And I'm like, ooh, this could be good. And then she's like, my grandma and my cousin died. I was like, damn, that's sad, but that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I just feel like she's actually not mysterious.
Right.
Because to be mysterious, there has to be something alluring about you that you want to get to know. And I don't feel like I know that much about Serene, but I don't really care to know that much about Serene, even though I think she's gorgeous. Yeah. I think that there's somebody right out there for her, and I hope she finds it, but I definitely don't think Clayton is right for her. I see Serene as the Rodney or the friend. There's always that one candidate who, like, gets along really well, but there's just no physical romance, and I never felt a physical connection between them.
I agree.
I never once felt, even, like, there was a time when Clayton went in to, like, kiss her, and she was like, oh, yeah, you could see in her head that she wasn't expecting to kiss, and she kissed him back, and it seemed like a nice kiss or whatever, but it didn't feel like she wanted to kiss him, like, he came in, you know?
It didn't feel like it was both of them making the active decision. It was like, oh, okay, I guess this might as well happen.
Oh, well, and then she made a comment. She said, nobody's ever shut down a pier for me before. And I'm like, he didn't. He did not shut down a pier for you. The Bachelor shut down a pier for you. Not saying that Clayton wouldn't do and jump to drastic, you know,
it is
wild fantasies to appease his woman, but he did not do that for you.
Right. It's just crazy because, like, I wonder what it's like. I wonder how these bachelors and bachelorettes are dating in the real world, because you can't do the things they do in the real world. I mean, you can, like, you can go skydiving, you can go, you know, international, you can go to, you know, wherever. But when you have people setting all this up and providing all these things for you, it's very different than doing it yourself.
Exactly. So I totally agree. I will say, I loved her dress. It was a simple little black dress, and then the rhinestone.
Yes, I was going to say, I loved her dress. I thought she looked so good in it.
She looked
and
classy
literally
as
right when
fuck.
she walked out, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh my god, she looks so good.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that fucking dress.
Yeah, I mean, she really is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, that dress looked, I do. I love those simple dresses. I love the little rhinestone. She has a cute little body.
Yeah. I think she's really beautiful. I just don't think she's right for Clayton.
Yeah, I agree.
And I made a comment. The background music they played for, like, the, you know, when they tidy up the end of the package and it's them dancing or kissing or singing or whatever, and not singing, like, somebody's singing. The background music that they played was really beautiful. I gotta look up what it was, because it wasn't I didn't feel like it was the traditional, like, sappy, big orchestra, cheesy music. I don't know, there was just something about the music that really got me. I was like listening to the violins, and it just seemed different, and I was into it.
Nice.
But yeah, I definitely don't think Clayton is getting the affection he needs. Because here's the thing, Clayton needs somebody to tell him what to do, and Serene, it sort of seems like she wants to be told what to do. Doesn't need it, but wants it. And
I can see that.
That's just not...
That's not a recipe
the
for
Clayton
good
that I've been seeing.
Yeah.
And I feel like Clayton has been pretty open about who he is as a person. I honestly don't think if I met Clayton in real life, I would see him any differently than the way I see him on television.
I agree just 100%.
You know, like there's some people that, you know, maybe they make out to be the villain, or maybe they make out to be the really good girl or whatever, and then you meet them and you're like, okay, whatever. Like, but what you see with Clayton, I honestly think is what you get.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that Serene and him are
a match made
in heaven. So we had this one-on-one date, but you knew the drama was going to come back. You knew it was going to come back. And so the first person who actually confronted Shanae was Jill.
Yeah, she said, what did she say? She
just said that she felt, you know, that she got time taken away from her. And you know,
which is valid.
She worked, well, and she was valid. She said that, you know, that team worked really, really hard to get that group date. And by Shanae coming in and disrupting it just shows that she's immature, she's not nice, she's not professional. And I totally agree. Like, I mean, let's be honest, Marlena, the only reason they won was because Marlena was on that team.
Right.
Marlena,
I think.
Is it Marlena?
I think it's Marlena.
Marlena was on that team. But, I mean, they did work. It wasn't like all the girls stood in the back and they just let Marlena run the ball.
Yeah, like, they worked really hard, like, to
win that.
Yeah.
So Colton, it was nice. I mean, Colton, well, not so nice. Colton pulled the girls to the side that were the winners and let them kind of air their grievances out. And they all spoke. They all said, you know, like Susie is cute as a button, and she's like, I believe people need grace, and I think she needs to apologize, and then we can move on from there. Like, Susie's like too much of a sweetheart. I'm like, babe, I think deep down you know that. But you're just really nice.
Well, because she even said, she's like, you know, but like I do like Susie, because Susie was like, and she's so cute.
Oh God, and she's adorable.
Yeah, and she was just like, you know what? Like, we'll give her this opportunity to apologize, and either she's gonna grow from this, and you know, and learn from it, and you know, we can help her do that, or she's going to go the complete opposite way.
Either way, we find out what her true character is.
Either way, like, she's still a person. She still deserves this grace. Now, looking from the outside in, she's had a lot of those graces, and it's
maybe too many graces. Yeah.
But they also said, this was a little bit later on in the episode when Susie, Rachel, and Gabby were talking, and they all three, and I'm pretty sure they're probably like in the top, they're all in the top 5 at least.
Yeah.
And they're like front runners. And they all were like, if he picks Shanae, because we'll get to the 2-on-1 date, if he picks Shanae, like, that's going to show us, that's going to change the way I feel about him.
Well, and Sierra said that.
Yeah. Because, like, we've given him so many chances to see the true colors without trying to interfere and, like, let him see it himself.
Yeah.
And if he can't see past that, what does that mean for our relationship? Because I don't know.
We can't trust his judge of character.
I can't trust his judge of character.
Well, you could see on Rachel's face, she was like, yeah, when Shanae got picked at the cocktail,
she was shook.
She was like, what? Because it truly does. When somebody that you think you like keeps making the same stupid choice, you're like, this is sort of a reflection of your character.
Speaking of stupid, I was dying. I mean, I think she shouldn't have said it, because, like, I don't know, it was kind of condescending, I guess, in a sense. But I was dying when Sierra was like, well, I guess, should we get to eliminations?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sierra was eliminated over Shanae. And Sierra, like, goes up to Clayton when she's saying her goodbyes, and she's like, I hope you find the right woman, and blah, blah, blah. And then she said, don't be stupid, Clayton.
Yeah.
And then she strutted away.
Out.
She didn't walk away. She strutted away. She was like, boop, boop, boop. I said my piece, bitch. Like, I mean, good for her, like, whatever. They were never going to work out.
Never.
She had already friend-zoned herself
Yeah.
from the beginning. I'll miss her little body glitter, though.
Yeah, that was fun.
But, yeah, she was eliminated.
Jill was eliminated, and Lindsay W. was eliminated.
And Lindsay W. was eliminated. And I like Jill. I hope Jill's on Paradise.
Yeah, Jill will probably be on Paradise. There's always that one that she's almost like the Tammy, but not so.
Yeah, Tammy was just like a little too drama for me.
Yeah.
And I like Jill. I think she's like fun and quirky, and like I think Paradise would be a good chance for us. Yeah, to like see more of her. Like, and I like that. I like Jill.
I like Jill. Well, before the cocktail party, we have to remember that Clayton pulled Shanae and was like, can you apologize? And then she went and did this whole thing. And then in her post-interview, she was like, I deserve an Oscar award. I deserve the Oscar. I deserve the Golden Globe. I deserve the Emmy. I memorized my speech so well. Ha, 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 ha. And it's like, here's my thing, is you're obsessed with winning. Okay, great. Let's say you win. You don't think all this is going to be aired and then Clayton's going to be like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck? And I know she has to, even if she is mentally deranged, she has to know deep down that she is never winning.
Right.
But, I mean, she is just wild. She is beyond.
She is beyond.
Yeah, so it was funny that Sierra said the don't be stupid thing. Mm-hmm. I don't agree. I would never say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But you don't say, and that's what I said. I said, I agree with Sierra, but you don't say that.
It was very strange. Like, if I was Clayton, I'd be like,
bye, glad I said no to you.
Yeah, it was just weird.
It was just weird. But then they head to Toronto. Mm-hmm. And so it's a new, same how we felt last week with Houston. You know, it felt revived. It felt fresh. I mean, he says, I could fall in love with so many women. So, being cute. Kitty's being bad. He's being a bad cat. Well, then Gabby got the one-on-one.
Yeah.
Gabby is hilarious. She's
Gabby
really
is
funny.
so fucking cute. I love her. I think she's so fun.
She's like, thanks for being happy for me, girls.
Yeah.
So cute. They went in a helicopter.
Uh-huh.
They did street hockey.
She petted a dog.
She petted a dog.
She was lying on the ground. I was like, girl,
what the hell is happening right now?
That's a little too much. But yeah, like she was all up in that dog's area and like just like petting him, and it was funny. But speaking of clothing though, I hated her dress.
I was gonna say I fucking hated her cocktail dinner dress.
It was so bad.
I
was like, girl, you are way too cute for that fucking dress.
Yeah, I hated that dress. I thought it was so ugly, and she is so cute. Yeah, she said she feels like she gives a lot of love, but she doesn't receive love well.
Yeah, and
like,
she had a whole story about like her mom, and this was the first time that I ever heard Clayton like ask questions that I was like, okay, like that's a good question. He was like, oh, would you ever want to, you know, try to rekindle that relationship with her, X, Y, and Z, where sometimes where I feel like when Clayton answers a question, he's like, thanks for sharing that. And then his very like surface level where it's like, did you understand me? Or you kind of just
are glossing over, like, thanks for sharing that.
Right.
Yeah.
And this time I thought he was like pretty engaged in the conversation. And, you know, he was like, is this something you would want, you know, to rekindle? And, you know, I think they had a good little night. I think she's going far, but for some reason I think she's more of the
runner-up.
Yeah, or like third place where it's like they make it like the Ivan.
Yeah.
Like she's almost like the Ivan. Where like he'll keep her around and he likes her, but there's just something that's not there that you can't explain. And it's going to be hard to let her go, but you just know she's down, it's not going to work.
I liked when because she talks like this, you know? And when she was telling her story and she was still talking like, you know, it's really hard for me because my mom, and then all of a sudden she started just like getting into the story and her tone changed and her voice changed. And I was like, okay, yes, I can understand what you're saying, Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
Not that like I think her voice is so cute and funny and
right. And she like she the way she describes things that's going on, I don't know how to explain it. I think her comments are just so funny.
She's hilarious.
She's hilarious, yeah.
But yeah, like I liked when she sort of changed her tone and because it felt like she started taking it not seriously, but she was like, okay, Clayton does want to hear what I have to say, so I'm gonna be serious about it,
right?
You know, instead of being like surface level about it. I mean, I liked their date. They spent some time in the hot tub. Clayton said she could be my future wife.
Yeah.
So obviously Clayton's into her and that she got a rose. The date went well. Yeah. I love it. Then there was the group date.
I hate roasts.
There's nothing I hate more than a roast. I'm with you, Rachel. Rachel was like, this is the worst date I could have ever been on.
I don't think they're funny. I don't think they're nice. Like Clayton was like, oh, you girls were so funny. And I would have been crying.
No, I do not. This Russell Peters dude, I did not think he said one funny fucking thing.
No.
I hate roasting. Like, it was funny. Like, the only joke that I thought was funny was when he was like, oh, yeah, Jesse and Clayton look alike. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Everybody's been saying that.
Yeah, that was the only joke that I kind of was like, oh, okay. Like, if it was a roast like that, like, whatever. But these girls were just fucking mean.
Like, Marlena was talking about Hunter's IBS.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, let's just tell this on national television.
Like, it was just so mean. And they were, I think it was fun. Like, I could have gotten behind the first joke of, it was something about, like, your mother, like, Mari, or a 40-year-old, like, Mari or whatever. Because Mari, and Marinara, we've talked about this on the podcast, is she just looks so much older.
Yeah.
She just looks like his mom.
Yeah.
Not like his mom. They don't look anything alike, but there's something about her that she just looks older.
Yeah.
And so, you know, to hint at that, but then she just kept going on.
Yeah, it just felt like, I was like, Sarah, like, come on. Like,
come on, yeah. But then Mara brought it right back onto Sarah. And
then she called her like a little bitch, and I thought it was really weird.
Yeah, the little bitch was way too far. I did not feel comfortable. You could tell Susie felt uncomfortable. They didn't even show Rachel's roast because, you know, she's the golden child. Yeah. You know, she's a front runner, so they're not going to do anything bad. And I don't think they showed Susie's either.
They showed Susie's.
Oh, they showed Susie's.
Was very, she was like, you're a bench warmer.
Yeah, like, that was the kind of roasting that, like, if you had to do it, I could, like, get behind.
Right.
But I agree. Who said it? Who said that? They're like, if we're going to shit on anybody, we should be shitting on Shanae right now. Yeah. Because we all have a common enemy. Who said that?
I can't remember.
I can't really remember. But they did shit on Shanae.
Probably Genevieve. Or, no, not Genevieve. It doesn't matter.
Genevieve wasn't on the date.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It doesn't matter, but there's nothing I hate more than a roast because I don't think it's funny. I think it's mean. And there's nothing I hate more than being mean because it's funny. Because it's not funny. It's legit not funny. I did not laugh at a single one of those things.
I was uncomfortable.
And I was uncomfortable. I do not like it. I will say that that's one date that they could gladly get rid of. And I like when they do the poems. I like when they do the competitions. I love the group dates, actually. I think they're really interesting. They're fun. They're entertaining.
I hate the roast.
But they do a roast almost every single episode, and I hate it. And I get why they do it.
Yeah.
Every single season.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they're doing it to
probably stir up
drama or get rid of somebody. I'm surprised that they didn't show more of people shitting on Shanae.
Right.
And they showed more of people shitting on each other. Because I can't imagine, after Shanae's gone, I really feel like the drama section is going to be over because they're going to have to get to the serious stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think Shanae is the end of the line for the drama.
It has to be.
Yeah, and they're the only one they've built up to be a villain.
Yeah.
So what, you're just going to randomly turn Susie into a villain? Or, I mean, they would never do that. They've done that
before, though, and it's, like, annoying.
I know. And only God knows and the directors know what they're going to do, but... We'll see. But then, so the two people who weren't on the 2-on-1, Genevieve and Shanae.
Who were on the group date or on a 2-on-1. That's Genevieve and Shanae.
Yeah.
And their whole thing, Shanae made me feel really uncomfortable. Like, okay, she's always been psychotic, but now it's to the point where I'm almost scared for these girls' safety with her around.
Oh my God, totally.
She's like, I'm gonna push her off into falls. Hope you can swim, bitch. Like, I'm sorry, but to me, that's like, that should have zero tolerance. You should not be allowed to say stuff like that. To me, that's almost a call to action.
Yeah.
And
to be like, no, you can't do this.
That's not okay. It's not okay to joke about pushing your enemy or somebody off into the falls.
Yeah.
Guess what? We all know they did if that happens. You know?
Yeah. And you could just tell. I mean, I know 2-on-1s are meant to be awkward. Because, let's face it, if you're going on a 2-on-1, you might get past that 2-on-1. You might be the one who gets the one. But you are never getting the final rose.
Yeah.
It's done for you.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why Genevieve had to be...
Because she stood up to Shanae a little bit.
Because she stood up to Shanae, but I don't think enough or more so than really other people, I guess.
Yeah. But you could tell, like, Genevieve is, like shaky, like she's really nervous about this. Like, so they probably thought maybe it made good television or whatever. But then Shanae's over here calling her a wet chihuahua, rough. And I'm just like,
Katie's being naughty.
Come on, girl. Like, you're a mean girl.
Yeah, no, Shanae's just nasty and mean, and she's never going to have anybody ever, and I hope she never has children because she's a shitty human being.
Yeah.
Let go of me. Oh my God, this kitty's being so bad. All right, so, yeah, the 2-on-1, they didn't really get to the whole thing. They ended on a cliff, a to be continued of going over the Niagara Falls. I mean, it was so drama. But, and everybody just looked uncomfortable. I mean, Jesus Christ.
So bad.
But yeah, it was not. Well, before the 2-on-1, they actually had
a little cocktail party.
A little cocktail party.
Or they had like the night.
They had the group date, and Eliza had the maple syrup shots, and
Susie did her little she got like a microphone, and she's like, I know I roasted you, but I want to say all the good things about you. I love your smile. I love your dimples. I love how compassionate you are.
She is so fucking cute.
She is cute.
I really like her.
I like her too.
I heard a rumor that she was the next Bachelorette.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
It's a rumor.
I would watch her. I like her.
I like her too. And if they're going in this whole, you know, because we said Susie looks like Hannah Brown.
Yeah.
Clayton doesn't really look like Colton, but he has the exact same personality and that sort of
like vibe
of Colton. Jesse Palmer is exactly like Chris Harrison. So if they are trying to go into, you know, old roots sort of Bachelor, I can totally see Susie doing it. And she seems really fucking sweet and deserving of love. So I guess we would see. But, Rachel, he told Rachel, he's like, I think about you all the time. And he even said in his interview, he said, it's getting to the point where I'm always thinking about Rachel.
Yeah.
So I do definitely think she is up there. If not, I could predict the winner.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to make a prediction right now.
What?
I think Rachel's going to win.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
I think Gabby's going to be second. Although, in the preview...
I think Susie's going to be second.
You think Susie's going to be second?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well,
maybe. I don't know, actually.
In the preview, it looks like Gabby, like, does something or the way they set up the preview.
Yeah, because he was like, are you lying to me?
And they showed the back of a woman's head, and it was short brown hair.
Yeah.
Like, Gabby.
Have you been lying to me this whole time?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
So, I'm a little interested, and we've never seen that preview before. So, I'm sort of... curious.
Yeah, like what's going on?
To help, because we knew from the beginning something was going to be thrown our way.
Yeah.
Because they gave us basically who the final three were, very first preview.
Yeah.
And we were like, there has to be something going on here that we don't know about, because otherwise why would they tell us basically who wins or who's at least in the top 3,
right?
If there wasn't some like hidden twist or something just dramatic that happens. And now we saw this new footage, and I'm like, oh,
I'm like, ooh, something.
I see.
Woof. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but also in the previews for next week with the 2-on-1, it looks like he turns to Genevieve and says, "So are you just an actor?"
Oh, yeah, what is that about?
And I was like, but I didn't have the energy to, like, rewind and go back because I couldn't tell if, like, he had turned to her and then when he was speaking, like, they could have done, like, a cut where he's actually saying it to Shanae, but it looks like he's saying it to Genevieve. So I didn't have enough energy to go back
Because Shanae
and
has straight up said, and she even said in her, I think it was at the beginning of their Niagara Falls date, she had said, I stayed up all night writing a speech and memorizing it about what I'm going to say to Clayton. And she said she had like a hard copy, like she wrote down what she was going to say. So I think that's what they did. Because why would they bring up that about Genevieve?
You know what I think is going to happen? I think that Clayton is going to say that to Genevieve because of something that Shanae said. And Genevieve is going to be like, what the fuck? I'm leaving myself. You would fucking have Shanae. I don't trust your judgment. That's what I would fucking do.
Yeah,
if I made it like that and then he asked me
Clayton.
that question, if he had asked me that question, I would be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I can't even try with a relationship with you. If you're questioning my character when, I'm sorry, but like Genevieve is not a good actress.
No.
Genevieve is
she
not a good
seems
actress.
very uppity and like nervous.
Yeah. And Shanae's over here like, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Cool as a cucumber.
Cool as a cucumber. And she's the one that all this drama's centered around. But then all of a sudden she's cool when it's just Clayton. Like, and then Clayton has the nerve to go to Genevieve and be like, so are you just an actress? Come again? I would walk my fucking ass right off that fucking 2-on-1 date. Yeah. And be like,
you can
fuck
have
you.
Shanae.
Fuck you, Clayton.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm not happy or sad to see Genevieve go. To me, she was just one of the bodies in the background.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, they used as a pawn in the ploy of reality TV. Maybe she'll be on Paradise. I wouldn't be surprised if she was, but I wouldn't be surprised if we just never heard from her again.
I could see her being one of those that like come in super late to the game or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, we need somebody, and it's like they always grab
Genevieve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they ended on a to be continued, of course, because every episode has landed on a cliffhanger lately. So I guess we'll see. So next week we'll obviously start with the 2-on-1 date. And then there'll be a 1-on-1.
But who gets the 1-on-1? Did they show in the previews?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they just showed coming up, like for the rest of the season. So I don't know who gets the.
I don't know. I mean, I'll have to go through the girls and see who's still. Eventually, he's gonna have to go. This is what I think is gonna happen. So they're gonna do the 2-on-1 stuff, and
I think Genevieve and Shanae will both go home.
I think so too. I think they're both gonna go home. So I think that's gonna take up a significant amount of time, like half an hour, 40 minutes, and then they'll do a 1-on-1, and maybe the 1-on-1 will be like with Eliza or somebody who's sort of been in the background, and they'll go home because eventually a 1-on-1 is going to have to go home. He can't just keep giving roses to the 1-on-1s. So there'll be 2 1-on-1. Well, hypothetically, in the week, there'll be 2 1-on-1s and a group date. But we don't know if we're going to get all to that because they have to do the 2-on-1, and then they have to do
a cocktail party,
and
so another rose ceremony.
And then they'll do a solo date, and then they'll do the group date.
Yeah. And then they'll do another 1-on-1?
I don't know if we're not gonna have time. Because the first hour is going to be the 2-on-1 in this cocktail party.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it has to be. So then the second hour will be a 1-on-1 and a group date. Maybe the group date will end in like sort of a little bit of drama. Going into next week. And then after that next week, they'll finish everything up. And the week after that is probably hometowns.
Yeah.
So they're cutting the fat. I mean, they have to. So I definitely think that the next 1-on-1, I think it's going to go to somebody who, you know, is there, but is just going to be like, you know what, I just don't feel a connection.
Yeah, it's going to be like, you know, I spend a lot of, I like hanging out with you, but like, if I can't get past this on this date, like, they can't get a rose.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely that for sure. Yeah. Because after next week and then the following week, I'm pretty sure it's hometowns. It has to be. Yeah. It has to be.
Yeah.
So
it's already been on for 5 weeks.
Yeah. 6, 7, and then 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
So, hometowns, fantasy suites, hometowns, finale. So, yeah. So, it's getting down to the wire, and they're going to have to cut the fat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I am excited for next week's season. This week was really dramatic.
Next week's
as
episode.
it always is. But I am excited for next week's episode. Mm-hmm. And I'm ready for Shanae to be gone. I mean, I know we're probably all saying that and thinking that, but... And, you know, I get it. They have to have a villain. They have to have the drama. It is what it is. That's the part. And if the drama wasn't there, would we even watch The Bachelor? I don't fucking know. I really don't know. But I think it's Shanae's time to go. I actually think she might be evil.
Yeah.
Or at least
a
sociopath.
When she's talking
a
about throwing
sociopath.
people off of the fucking Niagara Falls. Like, go fuck yourself.
It's not okay.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
We'll see you next week for week 6 of Twin Talk for Bachelor. Bye.